Well, who exactly is Bodo Glimt? Well, they're the first Norwegian club to make the semi-finals of a European competition. And they're one of the world's northernmost top-tier teams. They're just one of two top-flight European clubs above the Arctic Circle. Bodo has a population of 53K, with Bodo Glimt's stadium having a capacity of 8K. And they've entered Europa League with the 5th worst odds in the tournament. But guys, despite that, they find themselves in the semi-finals. Their path in Europa League started with a 9th place finish in the league phase. And in the knockout playoff round, they defeated Twente 6-4 on aggregate, where they then went on to defeat Olympiacos 4-2 on aggregate in the round of 16. And just 2 weeks ago in the quarterfinals, they defeated Lazio on PKs. And it was Bodo Glimt's goalkeeper, Nikita Haikin, who showed up big time in that game with 8 saves in over 120 minutes of play. And he made 2 huge PK saves to help Bodo Glimt get the win. So, of course, we got to welcome in Nikita Haikin into Morning Footy. We need to talk about this game because you had a little bit of fun, not only after the game, of course, but on social media afterwards, of course, posting pictures of you making the saves, photos of you in that game, but you also posted a photo of yourself as a kid in a Roma jersey. Ooh. You really had some fun with this one. How was it for you in the moment? Because you even said it yourself that you didn't realize that you guys had won the game in that moment when you made that last save.
Yeah, it was fantastic, really. Historic night for not just Bodo Glimt, but for the whole of Norway. We made everyone proud. And yeah, I was just extremely present in that moment, really. I lost count of the penalties. And when I saved that last penalty, I went to pick up the ball and then I saw the boys running towards me. And then I realized, okay, we have won. So yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions. So definitely a night to remember.
What really caught my eye, the elements. The first leg against Lazio in the quarterfinals, it's snowing. It looks like Christmas up in Scandinavia. I mean, it was making waves on social media. Take us through being a goalkeeper, being a player. How do you stay focused and stay warm to really take Lazio to the woodshed? Because you guys are outstanding.
That morning, I was quite happy, to be honest, because I knew they were going to get a bit demotivated. And so are we, in a way, because it's never pleasant to play when it's that cold and it's snowing and you don't know whether or not the game will take place. But it's typical this time of the year in northern Norway, where the weather is a bit unpredictable. So we were ready for whatever. And it happened to be, it cleared out. Obviously, it was cold for them, coming from plus 20. But for us, it's just another day.
Do you guys come into this game kind of with that underdog mentality, just that kind of David and Goliath mentality? How do you guys enter this one, really being the underdogs in this game?
Yeah, I mean, we've already played on the stadiums that are huge. So, like, Stadio Olimpico itself is a huge stadium with a capacity of 70-75. So we're used to that kind of pressure, that kind of big stadiums. But we don't really focus on that, if I'm honest with you, being an underdog or what. We just focus on what can we do, what we can control, and whether or not we can stick to our plan and stay loyal to it, because I believe that's why we're so successful.
How have you guys made this a fortress, this Europa League campaign? Because no one has figured out how to play, whether it's the elements or the artificial turf or your footballing acumen as a club. No one can stand up with you guys right now.
I don't think it's just a one-season wonder. We've been working on that for several years now. To be precise, since 2019. We've been trying to establish our identity and try to play the Glimt way. And we have improvised with a few things that I'm not going to disclose. But I think, obviously, our home turf gives us a small advantage. However, when we do go abroad and we do play on a natural field, it's also a little bit disadvantage for us because we're not that used to it. So it's two sides of a coin.
But what is the Glimt way?
The Glimt way is to dare to play, is to press high when we can, to defend all together, to create as little central spaces for the opponent as possible, so close the middle as much as we can, and be a unit and fight for each other.
Now, in Norway, you guys play from March to November. So do you feel like in your Europa League competition and in your journey, do you feel like that has been helpful in you guys being able to really focus on Europa League play, or do you feel like maybe it was a bit more of a hindrance?
Well, once again, I think it's two sides of a coin because, we came back from our vacation on the 2nd of January, having just 2 weeks off. And if I'm honest with you, you do get tired. You do get a bit overwhelmed because you kind of don't stop. You kind of don't have that long break. So it is difficult. However, we have now reached the stage where we have a good game understanding and game chemistry, so we are fit. However, when we just began our playoffs in the Europa League, you could see we were lacking that. So, right now I feel like we're in a good shape.
But two mainstays are you and your manager, Kjetil Knutsen. Take us through what has been his evolution and what's been the evolution of your club and your team from that point in the Conference League to where you're at now on the precipice of making even more history in the Europa League?
I believe we've become more experienced, we've become more mentally stable, and we have identified parts of the game which we can really push and really elevate. And that comes with the press, and that comes with the low defending. So, and Kjetil is the man. He is the man with his backroom staff that work towards that, and they really football geeks, let's put it that way.
But when everything is said and done, why will Bodo Glimt be the one that can lift the Europa League trophy at the end of the day? What separates you from the other teams that are still alive in this competition?
That's a good question once again. I mean, we have nothing to lose, let's be honest. We never entered that campaign with the mentality of winning Europa League. We just were focusing from game to game on our performance and what we can do as a team, and really don't change our way of playing because of the opponent. And that's what we're going to be doing until the very end. But we don't know when the end is, so you just have to see. And you never know what future holds. But however, we are excited about it, and you never know. We reached the semi-finals. Why not to go all the way?
We're going to do some rapid fire quick questions. So we're going to start off with, what is your favorite dish in Norway? What's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, I love the fish.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
Of course.
The best fish in the world, the freshest. I'm not a cook myself, but when you do buy the fish and you do make it yourself, you can't go wrong. It's just so good.
Okay, so you've been in Norway for what seems to be an eternity, right? You're getting into the food. You've really assimilated the culture. How's your Norwegian? Have you been practicing? Have you learned? Are you fluent?
I'm not fluent, but I do practice. I'm between A2 and B1 to be precise,
Okay.
so that's not a bad level, and I keep learning the language. However, all the Norwegians, most of the people, they do speak very good English, so it was never an issue. But I do want to learn it myself anyway.
Yeah, love it. All right, so apparently Bodo is known for its beaches. I had to Google that to make sure.
Serious?
Known for its beaches. That completely caught us off guard. But are you a big beach person? Do you have a favorite beach that you like going to?
Well, the only time you can go to the beach and really enjoy it is probably in the summer, and that's even that is limited, to be honest. But it is quite accurate. There are a lot of places to go to and really witness the pure nature of Norway. However, I'm more of an island guy, and there is one island nearby called Skjæringøy, and it's totally amazing because once you reach there, you really see pure nature, and you really get in touch with animals like deers and rabbits, and quite cool things, to be honest.
I love that. My wife and I travel, and we recently had an experience of meeting in New York, of all places, a Norwegian tourist who told us, you have to go to Bodo. And we were like, okay, I guess everything else goes out the window. So you're really doing a good job of planting the flag for Bodo. Now, it's not just nature, it's not just football, but Bodo is also known for the Northern Lights. So what's your favorite place, or where's your favorite place to catch the Northern Lights?
Well, to be honest, you can see it from wherever you go. It's just about the timing, really, and as long as it's quite dark, you can see it. However, there is too much lightning, it will be problematic. But any time between, I'd say, November and February, you can witness it, and I've seen it many times, but every time I see it, it's like I've never seen it before, so it's very hard to comprehend in my head what I'm looking at, to be honest, because it's that beautiful, and I highly recommend people to view it.
Oh man, you've sold us on Bodo. Production, if you could get me and Lahoud a flight out there to Bodo. Nikita, you're hosting us. You're getting us some fish.
Europa League final. Europa League. We'll take first class seats. Europa League final, courtesy of Nikita. We'll be there.
I'm waiting for you guys anytime.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and really best of luck in the rest of the competition.